Let's go to the Morted Air Base, because there in Ankara is our diplomatic correspondent, Hasan Abdullah. Hasan, has anything that President Trump said in that cabinet meeting about sanctions affected the likelihood of Turkey not being punished, as senior members of the US Congress want?
Well, Adnan, the US president talked about this being unfair to Turkey. He said that Turkey had tried to purchase the Patriot system, but he once again blamed the Obama administration. He said the Obama administration at the time had denied that sale to Turkey, leaving Turkey with no option. And once Turkey had agreed to the deal with Russia, that's when the Americans said that they wanted to sell Turkey the Patriots. So he said that it would be unfair to Turkey. Furthermore, he also talked about the job losses that would happen in the United States if the US decided not to sell the F-35 fighter jets to Turkey. He said that Turkey had agreed to purchase what he called substantially more than 100 F-35 fighter jets. And he said that it would be unfair if Turkey was denied that. So these comments from the US president did sort of send a message to Ankara, where there was a slight difference of opinion, where some people were of the view that perhaps he means that the US is going to sell up to 100 and not more than 100, whereas there were those who took the opinion that the US is not going to sell any planes at all. So at this point in time, I understand that the officials here are seeking clarification.
What about the timetable of the entire consignment, Hasan? So we have now more than 24 planes landing at that airbase from where you've been reporting since Friday. Also, these lines that are coming out, that possibly the missiles are going to arrive by sea. That will obviously take longer. Does the timetable allow for reflection both in Ankara and in Washington? And could that time be important?
Well, time certainly is important, but let's not forget that I think there is realization, at least here in Ankara, and perhaps some people in Washington also realize this, that things have gone pretty far. So officials in Ankara are saying that the ball is in the Washington's court. We've heard earlier from President Erdogan say that President Trump does have certain powers, whether it be delaying the sanctions or postponing them. And President Erdogan said that he hopes that the US president takes the bilateral trade between the two countries into account before deciding. But in Washington, it's not entirely clear, because Turkish officials would tell you that there are those people who are really pushing for sanctions. And also Turkish officials would tell you that there are some people who have a conflict of interest. They are associated with certain powerful lobbies in the US, and it's in their interest to try and push for sanctions against Turkey.